Hey everyone, so here we are, a full moon in Aquarius. If you know, I had last month's full moon actually uploaded a full moon in Aquarius video because I was looking at the wrong calendar. So I feel like Mercury retrograde or something was hitting me quite a while ago. But we're finally here. It's the full moon in Aquarius, and this moon is going to be very impulsive, very quick-tempered. Um, but there's going to be a lot of confidence in our energy, in our abilities to be determined and to be ambitious with our goals. And we're also going to be charged up to help others and to help others be happy or be joyful. Um, and it feels like a wonderful, wonderful full moon to me. I know there's always this talk with Aquarius energy of a revolution, right? And I'm always telling people, be careful how you express that because Aquarius to me is not a revolution. Aquarius to me is about revolutionizing our energies, our future, right? So you often get astrologers caught up in that energy of doom and gloom with the revolution. And because we have defined revolution to mean war, civil unrest, we automatically go to that energy field. And guess what, guys? When we do that, we create it, right? So we need to redefine what revolution means. And it doesn't have to be with arms, right? One of the things I've noticed, and we will talk about the energies of the tarot energies of Aquarius, but I often hear astrologers or people that know about planets, etc. I'm not one of those. But you'll often hear them say that Uranus is the tower card in the tarot. And once again, I'm looking at this because I do know tarot, and I'm like, no, you're wrong. You're defining that because of your perceptions of what revolution means. And it's being defined as destruction. That is now how I'm seeing it. And I've been saying this for a while. I'm seeing it in a different way. I'm seeing it being an energy of revolutionizing, which need not be aggressive. The tower is actually Mars. And one of the reasons why it's Mars is because we do see it coming. But when people are not familiar with tarot, they just see the lightning. And so Uranus is often, and we'll talk about it more on the next slide, but Uranus is often grouped with this image of lightning because something suddenly happens. Well, with the tarot, the tower is not necessarily a sudden thing. It's a neglectful thing. It's something that I didn't pay attention to, which caused my foundation to crumble, right? Uranus is not that energy. That's actually Mars. I wasn't paying attention and then I got upset. Usually when you see the Tower card, it is a strife. It is an energy of warlike energy, which is why Mars is associated with that. But we'll talk about the associations of Aquarius and the proper association of Uranus with Aquarius tarot in a couple slides. But I did want to talk a little bit about this energy of the moon in Aquarius. And again, it's a moon that is needing space. When I did the meditation, the word that came to mind was release. And it was this sort of retreating, but only to do a cleansing, right? To do a cleansing. And the way that that release came is like, yeah, this moon oftentimes needs space because it's doing a clearing. And I think Aquarius does that. It's an energy of clearing. It's an energy of washing away something that is not of service to humanity or to the collective. This is going to probably be a long video, so you are forewarned. Um, just because I have a lot of energy to say about this release point. And we finally got to this space throughout this year where we are interfacing um, this Aquarian energy with the energy of strength, which is the energy of the year in the month of August. So this is really important for us to observe, right? Because something is being cleansed on a collective level in order for us to move forward into the future, which is what Aquarius energy represents, right? So this is a very emotionally independent energy for the purpose of doing the clearing, for the purpose of doing the release. It is, again, concerned about the future of humanity. It's a very intuitive energy. It's a very perceptive energy. And it's an energy that has the ability to express universal love, right? It's really a beautiful moon in seeing the bigger picture. So I do believe somewhere along the line with this full moon energy as it goes into the new moon next month, we're going to be seeing some bigger picture that's going to revolutionize social order. And that's the key right there. It's something about us seeing into the future that's revolutionizing our current state. Need not be violent. And if you will see what's going on, what was going on in England with this race riot, right? It's almost like people, and you will hear, oh, this is a far right conspiracy. They're, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, yes, yes. All of that is true. And that's orchestrated, right? There's an orchestration behind that. That is not civil war. That is not revolution. That is an orchestration, right? The deeper aspect of that is the revolutionizing of the social order and understanding the bigger picture that not everyone is a racist. And in fact, we're not going to tolerate that, right? And that was shown throughout the world. We are not tolerating that. That energy is a revolutionizing concept. And that is how I feel Aquarian age is coming in. It is not about repeating the past in the exact same manner. And that's another thing that I think is going to shift in astrology. There will be things that occur. There are people that are incredibly talented with predictions and the astrological chart, but things will not happen in the exact same way when we're speaking about it on a global perspective. You can get down into the minutia of something, but from a global perspective, it's not going to be all war, war, war. I think we're going to see a different kind of energy arise that can cause the same amount of shift that can impact the psyche of the world. So this moon is not necessarily swayed by emotional arguments, but it loves to look at things very objectively for the good of all, for the good of all. It's almost like a scientist, right? Like when a scientist is experimenting or breaking things apart to get to the answer of something, that's how this Aquarius energy is kind of like functioning for me, this moon. It's kind of looking at everything from a very objective perspective versus jumping in emotionally. Because when, again, the whole purpose of my offering with these moons, tarot and the moons, is for us to understand the impact our emotions have on our manifestation field. If we engage something in with an emotional charge that's negative, we will be manifesting this. And it's coming quickly, guys. It's really coming very quickly. So you want to be able to regulate your emotions and kind of be in that field of the Aquarian where you're objectively looking at what's rising within you and then determining, okay, is this a positive charge or is this a challenging charge? And what is it that I want? What is it that I want? What is it that I want to develop, right? So keeping those things in mind is really important. Uranus is a catalyst. It's a catalyst for change, and it will shift something that's deeply entrenched in our psyche, um, for the betterment of humanity, for the betterment of a larger group. So it's really important for us to balance our energy, balance the energies of what I want and what the group wants, and keep focused on what's best for us both. Emotionally, there is this need to be responsive, right? There's an instinctive need to be responsive, to respond to something. There's a need to sort of want security and also a need to want freedom. And sometimes these things clash. Just look at Gaza right now. These things will clash. We want security. We also want freedom. How do we balance these two energies? It cannot be in the space of war. It is not the tower. Well, actually, that situation is the tower because they saw it coming. But it's a perfect example of how contrarian it is to the Aquarius age, which is really looking at the solution and a revolutionizing aspect of that area, which I do believe there are people working on it, right? It's not only just about the ceasefire, it's about what's the bigger picture, what's the collective um agreement here that will satisfy both sides, right? Which is incredibly challenging. But again, coming into this full moon, this might be the perfect time to engage that possible solution. So there's this inner war even within us where we want the security, but we want freedom, right? So we want to be released from the chains of society and we want freedom. So where do we land with that, right? Where do you land with that? Where do I land with that in my own personal life, right? The need for boundaries, the need for guidelines, the need for freedom, and the need for individual rights. This is going to be our challenge when we are dealing with the Aquarian energies, with the Aquarian mood in particular. All right, let's go to our next slide and talk a little bit more about Uranus. So Aquarius rules um, the crown chakra, and its planetary system, as I just said, is Uranus. So why the crown chakra? What is the crown chakra? The crown chakra is usually the seventh chakra, and it's located right on top of the head, right on top of our head. And it's set to connect us to our spirituality. It's the place of union, the place of oneness, the place of integration. Um, it's the space of infinite potential, right? Which is why this energy of Uranus is also associated with the crown chakra. Sometimes we can sit there and try to think of a new thing, and oftentimes when you see, I'm pausing because oftentimes when you see like artwork or you see innovations, you sit there and you're like, how'd they do that? How'd they come up with this concept or that image or that fantastical interpretation? And this is where we say, they got the download, right? And the download comes through that crown chakra. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to land, but that's where it's coming through, right? And Uranus represents this energy of, like I said, revolutionizing something. And it's the chakra system of knowing, right? There's just an instinctive knowing that comes with the energy of Uranus. And it's here to show us that the possibilities of sudden inspiration or sudden awakening is within our reach. If we stay in the present, right? Saying that you're here, that you're now, that you're awake, that you are open through that crown chakra of being suddenly inspired, right? From that spiritual field, from that sacred field, from the divine field. And one of the reasons why I always think that the Aquarius, people that have this very strongly within their archetype, others will look at them and they're like, oh my God, they're so strange, or they're so weird, or that's just not, no, quote unquote, normal, is because mm, generally speaking, they get a lot of downloads and uh, they often don't know even what to do with it. They have so much um, information to share. They just simply don't know how to land with it. So when it can't land, it feels disjointed, right? It feels like the inspiration is stuck, which is why it's important for those that have the strong Aquarius to really ground yourself, right? To really ground yourself. Um, Uranus is, as I said before, it reflects the type of energy that's like an electrical current, right? Because it moves really fast. And since we are collectively humanity, we like to think too much. We like to analyze too much. And Uranus doesn't work in that field. So that's why we find it strange, because we don't work in that field. We're not made up that way for things to just happen at a strike of a bell. And certainly here in America, we've seen the Uranus energy with Biden stepping to the side, Kamala getting past the baton, her campaign. We've seen how quickly things can change and how fast it can change and how unexpected it can change. But if we stop and analyze the situation, we will lose the momentum. We will lose the sudden flash of inspiration. Uranus is an impulsive energy. And if you're someone that's into the world of analytical thinking and breaking things apart and putting them back together, you're gonna probably find this particular moon challenging. And you're going to probably find it challenging moving forward, right? Because this energy has been tapping our psyche for quite some time. So if you're in the field of, you're going to be one of those like, oh my God, things are so tough. Things are so this, things are so that. Like on a personal level, I've had so many things happening with my body, but I know that these changes are happening um, for my betterment, for my awakening, for my sudden inspiration, right? So I'm not going to sit there and triple analyze why this is happening. I'm allowing it to occur, letting it pass through me so that I can be in that field of the Aquarian age of Uranus to give me the sudden inspiration that I need through my body as a matter of fact, through my body. So I can't be crying. I can't be sitting here and being like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me again." I can't be in that field because the minute I'm in the field, I know I'm going against the currents of the future, right? So Uranus is very much the space of astrology that's all about opening the mind, right? Opening the crown chakra and understand from a divine perspective the greater gifts that are coming and staying away from the concept of fighting and being more in tune with the word that I received with that meditation, which was the release point for this particular new moon. Excuse me, full moon. All right, so now let's go into the tarot cards that are influenced by Uranus and Aquarius. Just keep in mind that Uranus is always about a radical awakening and a radical enlightenment, not about revolution in terms of a civil war or how we have viewed that word in the past. It's completely being filled with a different kind of energy that we've actually never experienced before. That's the key. It's a new journey. All right, let's move on to the next slide. So here we are with the two cards that are represented by Aquarius and Uranus, and those cards are the Star card and the Fool card. Now, for me, this energy, when I tapped in and I did the energy of the word release came, there's also this sense of divine reason, right? Allowing ourselves to be in the space of divine reason, looking at that bigger picture. So we start off with the Star card, and you'll see that there's a maiden, a woman, pouring water on both land and on water. And I want you to look at the jug. She has jugs on both her left hand and her right hand. The right hand is pouring water into water, and the left hand is pouring water onto the earth, the ground. Notice how there are 5 streams on that left hand when she's pouring it. The left signifies the feminine aspect. So for me, this energy feels like there's a lot of feminine energy moving on land. And also notice the 8 pointed stars and the fact that it's surrounded by 7 stars. These things are significant. I'm not going to go too much into the esoteric aspects of it, but 8, we are in the month of 8, right? The 8th month. So I feel like this energy of infinity is important. 8 is about the economy, the executive, the larger picture of that. 7 is about faith. And 5 is about action and adventure, but it's also representing humanity. So keeping these things in mind, that there's this, the feminine and the masculine energies are pouring their knowledge, right? Their inner wisdom, because it's contained in these jugs, their inner wisdom into different bodies on land, right? One is the ocean. You're pouring this energy into lakes or bodies of water. It doesn't really need more water, but that's where their energy is being poured, versus the feminine energy is saying we need to nurture the land, right? So notice these details when you're tapping into this full moon. One of the energies that the star can represent is that it's reminding us about hope, about vision, about aspirations. And it's also giving us a very similar sense to temperance, where it's pouring forth this understanding for all of us to truly engage in. And it's also like, what are we waiting for, right? The star is pouring some sort of information or download, right, through that crown chakra, which is asking us to be patient. It's asking us to understand that truth flows forever. Now, the star card is generally a positive card, and it's also, she's providing us a destination. This is why we look to the stars at night. We'll know our location, where we are, right? So there's a destination, there's an orientation that the star energy is providing us with. Again, this card signifies hope. It signifies inspiration, creativity, rejuvenation, tranquility. And its more challenging side, it's despair, it's hopelessness, it's lack of faith, right? All of these are energies contained within the star vibration, which is the 17th card. Notice that 8 again, 1 plus 7 is 8. Now, to the right of this card, you'll see the energy of the Fool. And this is what I mean by Uranus being an energy not of a revolution that we've seen before, but about revolutionizing something through means we've never experienced before. And that's the energy of the Fool. The Fool is freedom, it's originality, it's idealism, it can be spontaneity, it's a new beginning, right? And its more challenging side, yeah, it can be foolishness, it can be poor judgment, it can be taking a risk that you know is going to be horrible, right? It can be very impulsive, which are the energies we don't want to tap into. And for me, when I look at the Fool, I always look at that white rose, and it's the rose of joy. It's also the rose of silence, in particular, when the card was being designed. It was the rose of silence to really tap in. And these are symbols of, you can see also the symbol of the sun, right? That the sun is actually pretty strong here with all that yellow. And it's the sun of the rising golden dawn. Remember, these cards came from the Golden Dawn um, organization, and this is a huge symbol for them, but it's also a symbol for humanity. The Fool is giving us, again, that same energy of hope, right? It's the precursor to spiritual enlightenment, if you will, with the energy of the Fool coming in. And so these two cards, these two energies are really at play with this full moon in Aquarius. And again, the Fool signifies this seeker, this enthusiasm, right? It's neither of these, when you look at these two cards, neither of these two cards reflects a war, right? Or reflects this energy that people have associated with Aquarius of revolution. It just doesn't. It's revolutionizing something. It's asking us to be patient. It's asking us to invite the divine realms to engage and play with us. And it's a sign that we are not only working with our physical experience, right? The land, the body of water on the earth, but also with the wisdom of the gods, if you will, right? And having faith that they are with us in this new beginning. All right. As I said, this is going to be a long video. So it is what it is. But I felt like there was a lot of information that was just coming through that I wanted to share without rushing through it. All right, let's go into our video. We're going to do our readings. Again, these two cards are going to show up and I'll be pulled to one or the other. We are doing the readings based on your astrological moon sign, but you can, of course, look at the other signs, your sun sign and your ascendant, and see what story emerges for you for this full moon in Aquarius. Let's do our videos. Oh, we're going to do the journaling, which is our next slide, and then we'll do our videos. So if you're journaling, again, full moons are a great time to wrap things up, complete something, release something. And since that word release came into my field, maybe really focus on that release or to allow something to be illuminated in your life. For me, I think I'm going to definitely be journaling about what I'd like to sort of improve about myself over time, right? Remember that energy of patience that's also behind the star energy. I think that's a really good one to focus on long term, but you can also focus on what it is that you'd like to release. But if you do the journaling prompt on what aspect of yourself you'd like to improve over time, also try to devise a plan where you can reach that goal by asking others for assistance or seeking guidance of others who've actually achieved your desired outcome. Okay. If you have the card that's the star card show up, one of the affirmations you can say is that the universe is showing me what I can achieve, right? Which is going to require that we pay attention to signs and symbols around us. So once again, the affirmation can be the universe is showing me what I can achieve. If the star card comes out, if the full card comes out, you can say something like, it's time for me to embark on a new beginning. Again, it's time for me to embark on a new beginning. That can be your affirmation if that card comes up and you are into affirmations. Now let's do our video readings. All right, I am in a different location and there might be a little bit of an echo, but we have to just move on. So just to reiterate, we have a full moon in Aquarius. Don't forget, when you get to that last quarter moon, ramp up your meditation and ruling planet Uranus. Two cards that we have at play is the star card and the Fool card. I should have covered this because apparently the YouTube something person naked. I may not get these videos out. I have no idea. But yeah, I should have covered that, but we'll move forward. And hopefully you guys will get this video. I have laid out the cards. The one I'm using is the One World Tarot by Lena Rodriguez and Sienna Rose. Lena Rodriguez is a really good friend of my astrologer, Hogarth. And I just love this deck. I don't like the designs of the back when it's laid out. It looks kind of cool, but yeah, not a big fan of that. But I love the cards and they did an awesome job doing sort of a universal representation of the cards, which of course ties into the Aquarian age of just looking not only towards the self, but towards the collective as well. So that's why I chose the One World Tarot deck to play with. And of course, as usual, we're using my Arch and Ciel Tarot deck. So let's just get started. You know the drill. I will be called to one or the other. I am using 2 tarot decks, so there's an additional storyline here. And look at that. Creative spark, temperance, and of course, we were just talking about temperance, so I am being pulled to the star card here. So what's the story for those of you with moon in Aries? You're definitely going to be starting a new project. I could have also pulled the Fool card because it's a new project, but I was really drawn to the temperance, and we were just talking about this engagement of temperance and the star card having this energy of patience. So there is a new project coming along for those of you with moon in Aries. And emotionally, you will be feeling a spark of energy. And that spark of energy, pay attention to it because it is coming from the divine realms. It is being poured into you. There is a lot of sort of, I almost feel like spiritual or sacred information being poured into your subconscious. Do not get overwhelmed. This card, sometimes when we're dealing with emotions, can be about the burnout. Definitely drink, right? Drink a lot of water during this time period. It's going to be important for you to also be able to land this spark of energy that's coming your way. Nice. Next one, we have Taurus. Dun, dun, dun. What do we've got here? Conquered with kindness, 5 of Wands. You know what? I'm being drawn to the Fool card here. There is an energy here of having to sort of argue with other people about something. Sometimes people see the 5 of Wands as people getting together to build something, but because I see the Princess of Swords here and the word conquered coming up, it just does feel like there may be strifes in terms of ideas or in terms of even where you want to move, maybe about the future, right? The future point. You don't want to be foolish when dealing with other people about your ideas or something that you want to put forth and you want to build. You just want to be able to stay in the heart center and conquer everything moving forward from this full moon to the new moon coming up in September with kindness. Take a risk though. Don't be shy just because it may appear that it's difficult. One of the things you want to keep in mind is that if you do conquer with kindness, let them know your ideas, your strength, right? This sword, where's my wand? This sword energy here. You want to let them know that you can actually raise your sword. But you also want to be able to conquer this energy with levels of kindness. You don't want the chaos to ensue. And I want you to be able to take a risk moving forward because whatever is coming your way, this idea actually has a lot of backing. This is the other aspect of this. It has a lot of backing and it can have a lot of support as well. So definitely take the risk and don't be intimidated. Gemini moon babies. What do we have here? We have the Hanged Man and Judgment. So if you're discerning, I'm gonna bring the star over here. Sorry about that. If you are in the space now of things feeling like everything is turned, there's a couple of nudie pictures there. Oh, that's even worse. Oh my gosh. Oh no, I don't know if this video is going to go forward. But we'll do this. So we have the Hangman, which means you have to start looking at everything that you're doing from a different perspective, which is why I brought over the star, because you want to let in the information or the divine information to come in. One of the myths that's behind the Hanged Man is the myth of Odin turning himself upside down. And when he did so, he was able to see the world differently. And he was able to extrapolate and notice that the runes, the rocks within the earth was able to give him divine, not only divine guidance, but divine foresight into the future. And that's what the star energy is here to do for those of you with the moon in Gemini. You also want to be careful about judging others. This is not the time. I'm going to just do that. But this is not the time to start judging others, especially when you are close to having something being turned upside down. The minute you start judging others, this is assured that your world will be turned upside down versus you being in control and or releasing control and allowing the divine to guide you. This is about looking at every single person that you think you're going to judge with innocent eyes, and also to forgive them. Yeah. So for you, I feel like your emotional resonance is about releasing judgment and also tapping into what does it feel like to be in the space. Remember, the word that came through was release. So what does it feel like to be in the space of forgiveness? What does that feel like to you? What will that entail for you? And sometimes this is also about forgiving yourself. Next one is Moon in Cancer, babies. We've got manifesting with heart and the Six of Wands. Go get them. This is definitely the full energy for me. This is about getting what you want, going out there, being very much assertive. We've got the crescent moon on that horse. This is moving forward, right? So if I got the crescent moon here, which is a moon energy, together with this immense star energy, what am I doing? I am literally creating with alchemy. I am manifesting with heart, right? So whatever is going on for you during this period, during this full moon in Aquarius period, I say go for what you want. You're going to be victorious. Take the risk, take the leap of faith in yourself. Moon in Leo, babies. Money, 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 money. Ooh, look at that. And the world, right? So let's do the star immediately. The reason why I said money, money, money was because that's what came out when I saw the Six of Pentacles. There was like a lot of money. You are protected. This seems to be more of a divine engagement. Let me cover that. The divine engagement with the world, and also the divinity, the divine reason coming in. So whatever is illuminating for you, this is about how are you feeling in terms of making more money for your own sustenance, right? For your own sustenance, because six is always about that sustenance feeling. You are going to conquer the world. You're on literally moving into another chapter. I am going to say that patience is required here, but you're moving into another chapter in your life, and it's very successful. Good for you. Good for you. We have the moon in Virgo, babies. Meditate. And Nine of Pentacles. Meditate. Nine of Pentacles, right? You all felt that? The patience card is coming up. Meditate is just, it's almost like put down your swords is what I felt. Enjoy the life that you have. Be grateful for the life that you have, right? If we're paying too much attention about what, am I secure? Do I have enough money? This energy of worry, right? It's like you're really being asked for this new full moon in Aquarius. Put down your thoughts. Put down your worries. Be in the space of gratitude. Be in the space of giving thanks versus in the space of a perceived lack that's actually not there for you, right? And allow the blessings to come. This is about literally allowing the blessings to come into your land, right? The Nine of Pentacles. This also has to do with family. So stop thinking so much about the family in terms of like, what can I do? They need security, that whole energy that we talked about, that dichotomy between wanting the security and wanting the liberty. Be in the space of appreciation, which also leads you straight into the space of freedom. Oops, let's do it this way. Next, we have Moon in Libra, babies. Oh, self-insight. The sun. Nice. Well, I feel like the sun... I hesitated really quickly, right? Because the sun, the energy of the sun. So there's something here about a self-insight, pouring the emotions into yourself, right? Sometimes we can communicate. 3 is always about communications. Sometimes we can communicate with others our feelings, and other times it's best to communicate those feelings with yourself so that you can be illuminated. This is a spirit horse, right? So this is about connecting with spirit and connecting with your inner power, your inner self. Whenever I see sunflowers, it reminds me of eliminating radiation, because that's what the healing modality is of the sunflowers. So there is something here about eliminating a poison almost with a clearing within yourself. And allowing also the opportunities to manifest, to reveal itself. I am being pulled to this beautiful rose of silence, the white rose of silence, because you're pouring this energy into yourself. And we want to be in that space in order to allow spiritual illumination to come forward. So yeah, this seems like a lot of sort of introspective work for those of you with Libra moon. Scorpio moon, babies. What do we've got? The Strength card and the Four of Swords, similar to this card, right? Which is the meditation card, which is the Four of Swords. Be careful with your... I'm going to pull the Star card here, because I need you to be careful with your voice. Be careful how you speak. Be careful how you express yourself. The guidance here is the Four of Swords. Put the swords down. Allow the illumination, the light frequencies to literally heal you. Heal your throat chakra in particular. And of course, these are the roses coming down and healing all over your body. All over your body. Stop the inner chatter. We don't need the talk. We need the healing. And part of this Strength card is to tame the wildness within yourself. And of course, as we are allowing the illumination of healing, we also allow and are open to a new way of handling challenging situations. For those of you with a moon in Sag, we've got the Lovers and the Ace of Swords. Nice. Ace, new beginning. So let's bring in the Fool card. So there's a new beginning here. This is pretty straightforward for those of you with a moon in Sag. There's a new beginning here with relationships. Take the risk. Stop thinking about it too much. If you're asking a yes or no question, or you want to know if you move forward, the answer is definitely yes. Move forward blindly almost. Don't go into this choice analysis where you're like doing the pros and cons, but focus more on your feelings. What are you feeling? You want to be in this space of joy. You want to be in the space of happiness. So which of your choices that you have to make will make you happy, and then go for it. Nice. That's a good one. For those of you with moon in Capricorn, emotional connection, Page of Pentacles, there's information coming to you. Whenever we see the pages, it is usually about some sort of information or some sort of message that's coming to you. So you are dealing with um, a, I almost feel like it's a handshake. It's not a lover's situation, like emotional connections is not a lover's situation here for me because of this pentacle. I feel that it's information involving some sort of career endeavor or financial endeavor coming your way, or that you've been trying to negotiate. There is still a message that you've already poured your emotions out about this situation, but there is information that's still coming toward you because something was very difficult about this. But there's still one little hurdle that we have to sort of jump over. And this is where we let the star vibrations pour in that information and enlighten you. I am being drawn to the seven stars around the 8-pointed star, which means you have to have faith. You've already done the hard work, which I feel like for the Capricorn moon babies, it was literally sharing your feelings with another person who also reciprocated sharing that feeling. And now we're going into the space of, okay, what do we do with this? It feels very tangible. Be in that space of patience and allow and have faith that the divine has your back. For those of you with moon in Aquarius, wow, another major. We've had a lot of major arcanas here. So a lot of people during this full moon are going to go through a massive storyline shift in their life. For the moon in Aquarius, which is your moon, we've got the Magician, and we've also got the Queen of Cups here. With these two energies coming forward, I am not drawn to the star, though normally, you'd see this and you're like, oh, it's the star because of the Magician. No, it's the one, it's the beginning. So I'm being drawn to the full card, right? So for you, there is something that you've been sort of working on alchemizing, working on manifesting, right? It's a new journey for you. You still have skills that you need to learn. Don't be so quick to share this information with other people because they may not be quickly supportive. So you have to hold on to the information. She's holding on to that cup very close to her hand. She's even masked it, right? Like she's not fully, where's my little wand? She's not fully showing even her face. There's a lot of hidden qualities here with this queen. And that's all because we are going to continue on this journey, on this aspect of the creative that we are trying to manifest into this world, that we are trying to alchemize. And there's a lot of work. It feels like there's a lot of work behind it. Don't be afraid. Just jump into it. Don't hesitate. Just jump into it. The caution or the pause point is in sharing this information with everyone. Don't do that until you're ready, until you've actually completed the skills or learned the skills that you need in order to jump ahead on and have confidence. There's something here about you not having confidence yet. Last and never least, we've got Pisces moon babies. Inner strength and Two of Swords. Two of Swords means do not go forward right now. There's still this lesson that I need to learn here to gather my inner strength, right? This is the spirit horses coming in again. Somebody else had the spirit horses, but I forgot. Oh, I think it's this one, the moon in Libra. So the spirit horses are definitely coming in, giving you strength. They are literally balancing your auric field. This energy is balancing your auric field so that you stabilize and have inner strength. Usually, if you need this inner strength, the Queen of Cups, it's because there's too much chatter going on. So I almost feel like stop the inner chatter. This is what the Two of Swords is communicating to me right now. Just stop the inner chatter. Don't go into the depths of emotions without being stable, without having a raft, without having a floating device, without being able to land smoothly into the depth of that, right? You really want to stay in this field. Let the waters pour on sacred, solid ground. Don't waste your energy on bodies of water that have already been filled. Interesting. All right, guys, that's your reading. I hope there wasn't too much of an echo. I'm actually in a different part of the house that doesn't have a rug, so there might be like echo in the background. But again, happy full moon in Aquarius. Keep it positive. It's not the Tower card, it is the Star card and the Fool card. Be in the space of allowing the download. Third chakra, seventh chakra, crown chakra is what we're focusing on. In order for that to happen, where our bodies and the rest of our chakra systems have to be aligned in order for us to literally allow the information download to land. And then once it lands, we have to have the confidence that we are the stewards of the information being imparted upon us. All right, guys, keep the hope up and stay in the frequency of innocence. That's what the Star card is, and that's what the Fool card is. Until next time, bye.